What is going on? Welcome to today's lesson. Today we are going to do a short Qigong routine to open up the neck and break up any kind of congestion and chronic tension that you're holding on to without relying on massage therapists and chiropractors to decompress you and open you up. The goal here is so you can do this on your own whenever you want throughout the course of your day, and over time things start to relax and let go more and more until your neck is totally free and open. So go ahead and get ready, and we're going to get started. But before we get started, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos every single week to help you overcome different injuries, different struggles and pains and health related issues that either you're struggling with now or that you want to prevent and overcome. You'll see other videos and testimonials that I have there now, but I'm just getting started, and I look forward to helping you as much as I possibly can. And if you feel like you want to work together and if you want to learn more, go ahead and visit me on my website, rootofmovement.com, where you can learn more about what I do and how we help people, more testimonials. And if you'd like to speak with me one-on-one to see if we can actually help you overcome any kind of unresolved pain or other health conditions, or if you're just looking to have more control in how you feel day to day, this is my area of expertise, and this is my mission in life, because I went through something that I want to help other people either overcome or avoid completely so they don't have to deal with what I went through. And with that being said, go ahead and get ready, and let's get started. So today we're going to begin in our Wuji position, and you can look on this page for a more comprehensive video lesson on this exercise. But we're going to establish very neutral body alignment, stacking the skeleton, allowing the knees to sink a little bit like we're about to sit down on a high stool. We want to feel as though there's a big balloon floating above our head with a string connected to the crown, to the highest point on the head between the two ears. So the upper back is going to extend up through the crown of the head without force, okay? All of these are gentle ideas, and if you have a lot of pain and congestion in your neck, please, no pain, lots of gain is the motto. So we go 60, 70, 80% of everything that we're trying to achieve here, meaning we don't force things. So the head is going to lift up and the tailbone is going to sink. And to find a good place, you may want to tuck under and stick your butt out. And you want to feel this range of motion that you have in your own body, and then come to a place where it's a nice neutral position where your tailbone sinks down like there's a plumb line. And with the head lifting and the tail sinking, we create a very gentle traction across the entire spine, which is ultimately what's going to help us relax those tense muscles and tissues. Okay? Shoulders are relaxed, head lifts, shoulders relax. We're sitting in our stance, so the knees are slightly bent, and inside it feels like we're trying to stand up and straighten the legs. All right, always looking for this yin and the yang of everything that we do. As something lifts towards the ceiling, something sinks towards the floor. Okay, the weight is spread evenly across both feet. We're going to try to maintain these alignments as we go through our exercise routine today. Last piece of this is bringing our awareness into our lower abdomen and our lower back, seeing if we can feel the breath fill that space without force. This is the key. You're going to hear me repeat it over and over again. We're looking for natural, deep, slow, uninhibited, rhythmic breaths. Tip of the tongue sits at the roof of the mouth behind the upper teeth. And the breath is going to be natural through the nose. In and out through the nose if that's comfortable for you. If not, then you do whatever's comfortable for you. Trying to establish this quality in the body, letting everything go. We're going to exhale. The knees are going to bend. We're just going to start with some cleansing breath. So as we inhale, the arms and the knees are going to lift, rise up and lift up. Exhale, hands are going to come over the top and sink down. So you're going to go at your own pace. You can follow my lead, but ultimately this is going to be your practice. You'll notice here in this upper position, my shoulders are not shrugged. So if that continues to happen for you, you want to slow things down. You can even come to a pause, relax the shoulders. Another pause, relax the shoulders. Another pause, relax the shoulders, until ultimately you really don't need those traps engaging much. So we're going to inhale and we're going to exhale. Just to settle the body a little bit. We're looking for global movement. When one thing moves, everything moves. So nice synchrony of movement. A symphony of movement, that is, with everything synchronized, moving collectively. We're going to pay attention to the neck. We're targeting the neck, but everything's going to become affected here. So we'll let that come to a rest. We'll do one more. We'll let that come to a rest. And this time we won't bend the knees so much. We're going to come back to our Wuji position. Nice and neutral. Going through our body alignment one more time. And so for the first exercise, we're going to shift the weight, bring our feet together, and then balance the weight back out. So you'll notice we're holding the same exact body alignments. We're not having straight legs. We're not sticking our butts out. We're going to essentially maintain everything we just went through, just with our feet together. And so the first exercise, concentrate the spirit and gaze at the heel. So we're going to inhale. We're going to rotate the head, turn the head. And we're going to look down behind our shoulder towards our heel with our eyes, and then we're going to exhale back to center. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to continue on this trajectory, and you keep going as I explain my way through this a little bit to give you a few tips. Okay? The first tip is we want to match the breath with the movement of the head, meaning we don't inhale too fast and still have room to go with the rotation. We don't exhale too quickly and still have room to come back to square one. So we inhale, look over the shoulder, exhale, back to center. And that's going to be tough for a lot of you in the beginning, to synchronize the breathing with the movement. This is number one. I'm just going to show you from the side. I'm going to inhale. Notice how I'm keeping that extension through the crown as I look over and back. You want to keep going as though the entire spine is what's rotating. And I'm just going to grab this stick. It's as if the entire spine is rotating. And that's what's turning the head for us, rather than the muscles of the neck. Okay? This is critical, and over time, you're going to start to feel different sections of the spine engaged here, which is what we want. If you feel pain, you stop before you bump into that discomfort. So for you, it may look like this. You may have less of a rotation than I have here. The key is to create this space in the cervical spine, in the neck, elongating through the crown gently while maintaining the sinking tail. Remember, we want to maintain that traction. Okay. Shoulders are relaxed. Some of you are going to be hiking up your shoulders when you don't need to. So you tune in and you may slow things down almost to a halt. And you can take several breaths if you need to. And I encourage it in the beginning to get your neck to relax. Moving into our second exercise, which is going to be cock pecs the rice. So we're going to inhale, and we're going to feel a gentle stretch down the center line of the body, down to the pubic bone. We're going to exhale and look over as we create a gentle traction to the tailbone. Inhaling and exhaling. Maintaining as though this string is maintaining this traction on the spine the whole time, rather than putting a kink in the neck. I'm keeping the extension through the crown, and then as I look forward, it's almost like there's a pull right through my neck that I'm pivoting around, like I'm looking over something to create that traction down to the tailbone. Inhaling and exhaling. And for you right now, this is a discovery. You're exploring. Where can you feel things? And if you're super locked up in your neck and your shoulders right now, you're likely only going to feel this in your neck. Again, no pain, lots of gain. So your range of motion might be a lot less than you'd like, might be a lot less than I'm exhibiting here. Again, matching the breath to the movement. And we can let that come to a rest. Over time, you want to feel almost like there's something pulling even all the way down into your feet on the front side, on the back side, inside and outside. We're constantly exploring. So we're going to let that come to a rest. We're going to open our feet back up, back into our normal neutral position. Focus on the breath and the alignments for a moment. Okay. Now we're going to go actually and pay attention to the bottom part of the spine, the sacrum. So we're going to open up the feet just a hair, and we're going to sit down a little bit lower and place our hands on our hips. I want to make sure that we're not leaning back, that we're not leaning forward. It's almost like we're sitting down on this stool right under our butts. Okay? And we're going to make little baby circles with the sacrum. The sacrum sits down here, and it might be helpful for you to place your hand on your low back, on your butt, and one on your front. And we're making baby circles, almost like we're drawing circles on the floor in between our feet. Maintaining the extension up through the top of the head. And we're breathing into this space. Okay, so we really want to explore the whole body. For you, if your shoulders are super tight, you're concentrating on letting as much of that go as possible. This is not going to be big extreme circles right now. We're just going to do small little circles, like there's a plumb line with a string with a pen at the end, or a pencil, drawing a circle in between your feet. And we're just going to machine that out over time. If you've ever drawn a circle on a piece of paper, the more times you go around and around, the more circular it becomes. That's what we're trying to do here. Then we'll switch directions whenever you're ready. Tip of the tongue at the roof of the mouth, extending up through the crown, sinking through the tail. You should feel movement in your feet, in your legs, shoulders, arms, even in your fingers. This is an exploration to feel the global movement that's taking place. Clearly, we want to affect the neck here, which requires us to focus on that extension through the crown and the sinking of the tail. All right, we'll go switch directions one more time in each direction. So we'll just do a few. And from the back, so you guys can see me, you can see I'm not really moving extreme, but my emphasis is down here. This is what's controlling and generating the movement. And I'm going to switch. And you could probably see movement all over my back. And we'll let that come to a rest. Hands back onto the sides. We're going to stand straighter up a little bit, not locking the knees. We never really want to lock the knees here. So it's always this feeling of sinking onto a high stool while internally standing up, which requires us to let go of a lot of the tension that we're holding on to in our legs and our hips. All right. And so the last exercise, we're going to go in both directions. We're going to hinge forward slightly from the waist, but also we're going to think about this is going to be the point of axis. So we're going to lean forward like we're going to pick something up off the ground for a second, like luggage off the floor. Shoulders are relaxed. They're going to come forward, up as we inhale, over the top as we stand up, and drop down the back as we exhale. So we're going to inhale, we're going to pick the luggage off the ground. Exhale, bring it back down to our sides. Again, symphony of movement here, guys. Nice and easy. We want to think about super round. So I'm going to exaggerate. It's going to come forward, up, over, back, and down, and around the bottom. This is the exaggerated version, which most of you are going to want to do. And I'm going to challenge you to make this a much smaller movement, not going to our extremes here. Remember, 70% roughly, inhaling and exhaling. For example, we don't want to straighten all the way up and still have room to come up the front and over. So I want to match the straightening of the body with approaching the peak of the circle with the shoulders. The arms are relaxed the whole time. And we want to think about the whole chest and the whole back is really what's driving this as we drive the legs into the floor. Head remains extended up away from the body. So as we're standing up, it's extending up here. As I lean forward, the head extends out in front of me. Nice and easy, guys. Maintaining our awareness of our weight sinking through our legs into the floor, nice and rooted into the ground. Okay, and then at some point, we are going to switch directions. So the shoulder blades are going to come together, up. We're going to shrug up gently and then start to lean forward like we're pouring something over the top. We're going to inhale, shoulder blades together, shoulders come up, over and down. Inhale and exhale as we let it down. So now we're putting the luggage back on the floor. So you should feel a slight opening of the chest here, and then an opening of the upper back here as we let the shoulders go. When we stand up, a lot of you will want to shrug your shoulders as you stand up. I want to challenge you to keep them drawn down towards the floor. Only right here is where we bring them back up. From the front, you can see my chest opens, but I'm not sticking my chest out. I'm bringing the shoulder blades together, and there's a difference. Inhaling and exhaling. We're trying to balance out the right side from the left, the front from the back. Okay, we're looking for symmetry in all of our movements, and we'll let that come to a rest. All right, I'm going to step back here, bring it back to our neutral position. So we're going to go through the exercises one more time, guys. We're not going to harp on any one. We're just going to do a couple of repetitions of each exercise for you to really get this in your body so you can practice it moving forward. Okay, you can really hammer through these few exercises in anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes a day. All right, then you can linger for longer if you'd like. So we're going to begin bringing the feet together, maintaining our alignment. Going in to concentrate the spirit and gaze at the heel. You're going at your own pace, at your own range of motion. Okay, 2 or 3 revolutions, and then we're going to go into cock pecs the rice. Maintaining the extension through the crown, inhaling and then exhaling as we look forward, looking for that traction as far down as possible. But to begin, you place your awareness in your pubic bone as you look up, and in your tailbone as you look down. Shoulders remain relaxed the whole time. Okay, we're going to open the feet up a little bit. We're going to sit down a little bit more like a horse stance. It may be helpful to place one hand on your front and the other on your sacrum, which sits at the bottom of your spine. We're going to make nice little circles with the emphasis on your back hand. Underneath your backhand, the sacrum. Breathing into that space if possible, and if not, observing where your breath is falling. And then we're just going to switch directions. If you're comfortable with your hands on your hips, maintaining the extension through the crown. We're going to bring our feet back to our neutral position. We're going to go into our shoulder roll exercise, inhaling and exhaling. It's almost like you're rooted into the floor, like a tree grows in deep into the ground. So as everything comes up, you feel something sink. Remember, looking for the yin within the yang. We'll switch directions. Balancing out the left from the right, the front from the back. Everything is nice and full. Back into our Wu Ji. We're going to sink the legs. Arms are going to come up. They're going to rotate to palm up as we slowly straighten the legs. And then they start to rotate to palm down as they come down the front. Again, noticing the symmetry from your right, from your left side of your body. Looking for the global movement and spirals throughout your body. Looking for the yin within the yang as everything rises. On our inhale, something sinks. As everything sinks down, something lifts up towards the ceiling and the sky. I'm going to do one more. Coming back into our neutral position for a moment, going through your body alignments to yourself. Observing your breath. And looking for any changes. And then you can just move around a little bit. Guys, that was awesome. I want to really encourage you to practice this every day. Qigong is a cumulative practice. It builds over time. It is subtle, it's safe, and this is giving you the power to decompress your own neck and shoulders, start to break through some of those layers of tension and stiffness. I promise you over time, this will create magic in your life if you allow it and you give it your space. Please leave a comment with any questions below. Like this and save it so you can refer back to it. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Take care.